What is going on, world? KRZZLtheconqueror here, back with part 3 of chapter 1 on A Course in Miracles. Part 3 is Atonement and Miracles. And basically the chapter is going over things like what the atonement is and how we're all a part of it and what we can do to correct the errors. But I'm not going to go over the whole thing. That was just kind of like a brief description, and then I'll read some parts from part 3, and then we'll wrap it up and move on to part 4 for another video. All right? So, basically, it's saying that the atonement is our forgiveness of everybody else. And when we forgive others, we in turn forgive ourselves. So I'll start off with the first sentence of the chapter, or of the part, I should say. Atonement and miracles. I am in charge of the process of atonement, which I undertook to begin. When you offer a miracle to any of my brothers, you do it to yourself and me. The reason you come before me is that I do not need miracles for my own atonement, but I stand at the end in case you fail temporarily. My part in the atonement is the canceling out of all errors that you could not otherwise correct. When you have been restored to the recognition of your original state, you naturally become part of the atonement yourself. As you share my unwillingness to accept error in yourself and others, you must join the great crusade to correct it. Listen to my voice, learn to undo error, and act to correct it. The power to work miracles belongs to you. I will provide the opportunities to do them, but you must be ready and willing. Doing them will bring conviction in the ability, because conviction comes through accomplishment. The ability is the potential, the achievement is its expression, and the atonement, which is the natural profession of the children of God, is the purpose. So that was just the first paragraph, folks. There's a lot more in here, but I'm not going to go over all of it because there's other places on YouTube where you can check that out, right? So we have several other chapters, but I'll just read a couple lines from each one of them and then let you guys decide what you want. Heaven and earth shall pass away means that they will not continue to exist as separate states. The forgiven are the means of the atonement. Being filled with spirit, they forgive in return. Those who are released must join in releasing their brothers, for this is the plan of the atonement. Miracles are the way in which minds that serve the Holy Spirit unite with me for the salvation or release of all of God's creations. I am the only one who can perform miracles indiscriminately because I am the atonement. You have a role in the atonement which I will dictate to you. Ask me which miracles you should perform. This spares you needless effort because you will be acting under direct communication. Error cannot really threaten truth, which can always withstand it. Only the error is actually vulnerable. You are free to establish your kingdom where you see fit, but the right choice is inevitable if you remember this. And then it goes on to say this very inspirational thing, and I shall read that right now. Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore, you are in a state of grace forever. All right. Now, this is paragraph 7. Atonement undoes all errors in this respect and thus uproots the source of fear. Whenever you experience God's reassurances as threat, it is always because you are defending misplaced or misdirected loyalty. When you project this to others, you imprison them, but only to the extent to which you reinforce errors they have already made. This makes them vulnerable to the distortions of others, since their own perception of themselves is distorted. The miracle worker can only bless them, and this undoes their distortions and frees them from prison. You respond to what you perceive, and as you perceive, so you shall behave. The golden rule asks you to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This means that the perception of both must be accurate. The golden rule is the rule for appropriate behavior. You cannot behave appropriately unless you perceive correctly. Since you and your neighbor are equal members of one family, as you perceive both, so you will do to both. You should look out for the perception of your own holiness to the holiness of others. Oh wait, no, that was chapter or part, other paragraph, because this is another paragraph right here that's actually 7. Sorry, folks. Miracles arise from a mind that is ready for them. By being united, this mind goes out to everyone, even without the awareness of the miracle worker himself. This goes out to ladies too. It's just the way it's written. Sorry, ladies. Where am I at? The mind then naturally welcomes the host within and the stranger without. When you bring in the stranger, he becomes your brother. That the miracle may have effects on your brothers that you may not recognize is not your concern. Take note, folks, take note. Miracles are selective only in the sense that they are directed towards those who can use them for themselves, since this makes it inevitable that they will extend them to others. A strong chain of atonement is welded. However, this selectivity takes no account of the magnitude of the miracle itself, because the concept of size exists on a plane that is itself unreal. Since the miracle aims at restoring the awareness of reality, it would not be useful if it were bound by laws that govern the error it aims to correct. All right, folks. Chapter 1, Part 3, Part 3. Let me know what you think. We're going to move on to Part 4 after this. We're in for some good stuff. I am KRZZLtheconqueror, doing everything I can to become a better Renaissance man. And thank you for watching.